Well, it's about that time of year again. Time to put on your shamrocks, drink green beer, and typecast the hell out of the vertically challenged by making them dress up as leprechauns. And speaking of leprechauns, anybody remember that time when Rankin-Bass tried to pull A Nightmare Before Christmas by exploiting 2 holidays in one movie? No? Well, sit your ass down, because I'm about to tell you all about it. In 1981, Rankin-Bass released a 24-minute holiday special entitled The Leprechaun's Christmas Gold.
Everyone knows that rainbows end in gold, guarded by leprechauns, so we've been told. And if you walk 100 miles to where the colors all descend, don't give up, my friend. There's been a million dreams about the rainbow's end.
Now, as much as I love Rankin-Bass films, I do have to criticize them for contributing to the over-commercialization of the holidays, as they create a special for nearly every major holiday on the damn calendar. However, I find this film takes the cake when it comes to shameless exploitation. For not only does it take advantage of the Christmas season, but moreover, it also takes advantage of Irish heritage by exploiting St. Patrick's Day and Irish folklore. In fact, the plot of this film honestly has so little to do with Christmas, they might as well have marketed it exclusively as a St. Paddy's Day special and left the Christmas part out. But nevertheless, the story of this film follows a young cabin boy named Dinty Doyle as he unwittingly gets himself caught up in a centuries-old conflict between a broken family of leprechauns and a wicked banshee who needs leprechaun gold before Christmas so that she doesn't turn into tears. Well, as this is a short holiday special that was clearly made to make a quick, cheap buck, I don't expect much deep thought or overwhelming creativity. And I find myself to be correct in my low expectations, as this film is pretty damn cliché and full of Irish stereotypes. Which should come as no surprise. In fact, about the only stereotype missing from this flick is a drunk Irishman. Which I suspect is only because this was meant for kids. Like a lot of children's fantasy films depicting Ireland and Irish folklore, the 2 primary races depicted here are leprechauns and a banshee. And also like those aforementioned films, the banshee is the villain while the leprechauns are presented as the good guys. Pretty standard, pretty cliché, especially when you consider the plethora of other fairy creatures that show up in Irish folklore specifically. It's amazing that leprechauns and banshees are the ones who consistently get spammed by pop culture.
Look, on the lily pad! A leprechaun! Catch him!
And like with most all other Rankin-Bass specials, the power of goodwill and faith triumphs over evil because reasons. Now, there are a few issues I do take with this story, beyond the obvious. The main thing was how they try to rewrite the mythology regarding leprechauns and fairies. First of all, from what I read about leprechauns, they're supposed to be miserly shoemakers, but I don't remember anything about them mining gold. Seems like the writers got leprechauns confused with dwarves. The other part of this story, which was clearly made up for the sake of the plot, is the part about banshees needing gold before Christmas, lest they turn into tears. I certainly don't remember reading anything about that in the myths. According to folklore, a banshee is a female spirit who heralds the death of a family member or loved one with her mournful cry. In all my reading and research on the topic, I don't remember seeing anything about her needing Christmas gold, or even having beef with leprechauns. Oh, and as for the part of the film where the banshee pretends to be the guardian angel of Blarney's wife, that part is also bogus since, according to the myths, leprechauns and fairies don't have souls, therefore would not have guardian angels. Or have access to anything heavenly for that matter. Of course, perhaps the biggest slap in the face this film delivers to both mythology and real-world history is portraying St. Patrick as the Lord of the Leprechauns.
Why do you summon me, Lord Patrick?
You what?
I mean, I'm not religious, but I'm pretty sure that's an insult to both Christian and pagan faiths. As being a Catholic priest, who was not all Irish, by the way, the very idea of leprechauns would be regarded as unholy and blasphemous to St. Patrick. And given that leprechauns originate from pagan mythology, there are probably plenty of modern-day pagans, Irish and otherwise, who would find the depiction of St. Patrick with dominion over any part of the fairy race everything from laughable to insulting. All in all, while I will admit that I do find this film mildly entertaining, most of the enjoyment I derive comes from the obvious silliness inherent to the blatant commercialism pandering to two different holidays in order to exploit a larger target demographic. Sorry, Rankin-Bass, but The Nightmare Before Christmas did it better.
Doyle, I always have a Christmas tree aboard for the holidays. This trip I forgot. But look, an uncharted island. And see, a pine tree. Row over there and dig it up for me.
I'm not all that familiar with the customs and practices observed by seafaring mariners during the 18th and 19th centuries, when I suspect this film takes place, but I have to imagine carrying a living tree aboard for the purposes of propping it up on deck would be highly inconvenient and potentially even dangerous to both the ship and its crew. Oh, sure. Send the scrawny-ass cabin boy to fetch your goddamn tree. Are there seriously no other sailors on this ship?
Free at last! A storm to celebrate my freedom!
Why is the Banshee depicted as a haggard old witch when there are plenty of depictions that also describe them as being beautiful and young? The idea in some accounts even suggesting that they are the spirits of dead virgins or young women who died in childbirth.
Oh, the golden gold of Ireland nobody's ever seen, 'cause it's covered by the Emerald Island Green. 'Cause it's covered by the Emerald Island Green.
Unfortunately, Leprechaun gold attracts rainbows, which are dead giveaways to where it's hidden. Such a rainbow brought us old Mag the Hag.
Wouldn't planting shamrocks be even more of a dead giveaway than a rainbow? Because unless big clover patches are super common in Ireland, anybody who knew what to look for would immediately know what was buried beneath. It would be smarter just to plant ordinary grass over the hiding spot, then nobody would be the wiser.
But if they don't get gold by Christmas every year, they slowly turn into salty teardrops and wash away forever. Oh, they can create cataclysms and make the moon dance with the stars and turn milk sour. But with all their powers, they still need gold.
Here's another aspect of the mythology they change. As far as what I've read, the only power attributed to banshees is their horrific wail. I don't recall anything about them being avid shapeshifters or having the power to summon storms, cast spells, or create earthquakes. Are we sure this is a banshee and not just Gargamel's sister?
Ravage the land as never before.
Total destruction from mountain to shore.
Who are you now?
Your guardian angel, perhaps. Listen to my words. Gold is the source of all the world's troubles and can bring no one good. All those who mine it will soon be caught in its evil spell. Do you truly love your husband?
Aye, that I do.
Then make him give his gold away. Do this, and I promise you all will live happily ever after.
As previously mentioned, this alone should have been a big red flag to her, as according to the biblical take on fairies, leprechauns and other earthbound spirits are themselves fallen angels, who despite being cast out of heaven, were not quite sinful enough to go to hell, and instead got stuck between the worlds. Which in essence just means that Blarney, his wife, and their entire clan have no souls to save, so no angels, guardian or otherwise, should be paying them a visit.
And I'm telling you, it was the Banshee what visited you.
And I'm telling you, 'Twas a good fairy, a guardian angel.
You're daft, that's what.
I'm what?
You're daft!
I'm warning you, man!
Well, if that's the way you feel about it, I'll not come home from the mine in the morning.
Well, don't then. And when your shoes get holy, don't come to me to save your souls.
Goodbye, wife.
Goodbye, husband.
Yay! Domestic abuse! Just what every kid's film needs.
And they'd all turn into shoemakers.
Give up, silly old fool. Gold, sir. All your gold for Christmas.
Now, turn to tears and wash away. You'll not get it.
Then take the consequences.
Oh no.
Well, that's a good way to potentially destroy the gold you need so badly. Dumbass.
I went to him what was the only one that could help us. The Lord of the Leprechauns.
Why do you summon me, Lord Patrick?
It's a good thing I'm not religious, otherwise I'd probably be annoyed by this.
Well, now, I was just wondering, Meg, how is it you can turn to tears?
Banshees are created from tears. Tears we were, tears we are, and tears we shall be at the end.
Ah, no, but you don't really turn to tears, now do you?
His age made you forget the old ways of enchantment. We do it all the time, but without Christmas gold, we have to stay tears forever.
Ah, yes.
Gold! Gold! Give me gold!
Oh, I will.
Oh, no. Gimme!
Ah, hold. Show me how you turn to tears first, just for a second, and I'll see Blarney gives you his gold.
Oh, if I must.
Blarney, quick, the pine cone. And let this pine cone, fallen from a tree planted by St. Patrick himself, hold your wickedness down.
You fooled me! I'm trapped! Set me free!
If you fell for that, sister, you deserve to be trapped.
What a magnificent idea, girl. And that's what you do with it.
To the last nugget.
Then the gold is yours.
Really?
Well, I know you're a joyful girl, but such laughter. And you're crying too. Tears of joy, are they? Those tears! You!
And the gold is finally mine!
I'll take it back. I won't let ye.
Stop! You've done all you can for me, Dinky Doyle. You deserve a rest, so sleep the sleep of 100 Christmases. Now!
Oh, lad. I warned you to watch for the banshee tears.
That's what you get for thinking with your shillelagh.
Bless my soul, Dinty. If you weren't dead, I'd say you were looking wonderful.
Not dead, me friends, but in a sleep of darkness, and then awakened by a light born of a love that never really died.
All praise the power of Deus Ex Machina. Or love, whatever you want to call it.
And will ye look what's being guided to us by the other end of the rainbow? It's my ship. 'Tis the Belle of Erin, waiting to take a cargo of gold and shoes and leprechauns back home.
Just think, me love, homeward bound for Ireland.
Oh, Christmas. You might have had some help from a couple of Patricks, but you've surely outdone yourself this year.
And of course, the captain and all the other sailors, if there are any, are completely cool with giving a ride to a family of leprechauns and their gold. And they're totally not planning to stab them in the back once they reach the harbor, stealing all the wealth for themselves and selling leprechauns to a traveling circus or something.